Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Close Up Magic. Just want to give you a heads up that CJ's audio, our guest for the week, was a little bit crackly in the beginning. Bear with us; it's still audible. You can still hear it and make out what he's saying. And then a little bit before the halfway point, it clears up and we fix the audio issue. So thanks for being patient with us. We really appreciate you tuning in for the show.
Second shot is no good. Rebounded by Anthony. 2 seconds left. Anthony for the win. Cody rolls it. Cole Anthony gives the Magic a victory.
Close Up Magic.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Close Up Magic. I'm your host, Stephen Cameron. And today we got CJ with us. What's going on, CJ? How you doing?
What up, man?
Dude, chilling. It's Tuesday, December 6th. We're going to get into this. We got a lot of Magic basketball to talk about. But before that, got some updates, some announcements, announcing a giveaway winner. So let's first talk about the show update. Nothing major is changing, right? You're still going to see me. You're still going to see Malik. But what you are also going to see is a rotation of other co-hosts, as I like to call them. And these are people that behind the scenes have helped with the success of the Close-Up Magic, that have also come on the show other times when, like Malik couldn't make it, or we just want to hear their opinions on the basketball. They've also written articles for us. CJ, who's been on the show before, he is our media representative on game days when we are able to go and represent the Close-Up Magic and ask questions on game day. So he's with us this week. Next week, you'll probably see Malik again. We got a good guest for next week. Malik is still going to be regularly rotated into the show, but Malik is also doing some really cool things on the side. He is getting really heavy into covering UF basketball. And he's got a podcast. He's got media credentials. He goes to most of the games. So we're giving him a little bit more space to do that, because that is it's a really good opportunity for him. And often, sometimes it conflicts with what we're doing here as far as timing. Not necessarily conflicts, but doing two pods in the same day can be tough, while also being a husband and a father. And so we're just freeing a little bit of space up, bringing in some of our other contributors to just kind of expand the show, sort of like the Hoop Collective a little bit. So that's new with us. So CJ, thanks for being we had Patrick on last week, but with the official new system, I appreciate you being the first of multiple times coming on the show. You're going to be covering some games soon. Isn't that exciting?
Yes, sir. Back in action.
Yeah. What's the next game for you? Is that this Friday?
Friday, Toronto game, and then Wednesday, I believe it's the Hawks game next Wednesday. So
nice. Yeah, that'll be exciting. We had a few more. We had a few more games covered, but you got sick. That's okay. Magic been really cool with us, so got these ones coming up. Kind of wrap up the year a little bit. We would cover some more closer to Christmas, but one of the games we were going to cover, we're just going to have a Close-Up Magic game party.
Anyway.
So we're going to be there anyways, just not media style. And then we're going to, work on getting some more passes for games next year, which will be great. All right. As always, this show is brought to you by 19 Media Group. It's the network that supports us. They have a lot of good network podcasts on their network, so go check them out. Without them, we wouldn't have things like merchandise. If you all want to support the show in a bigger way, financial way that helps us increase what we can do, things like giveaways, and things like supporting this paid platform that we're doing, and just continuing to increase our impact as a podcast and a show. Financially supporting us through merchandise and our Patreon program are great ways to do that. Both of those are linked in the show description for merch or Patreon. Our Patreon program is still relatively young. We just started it a little over a month ago. Gives you access to Discord, giveaways, and some content just for you. There's a couple different levels. I'm not going to go over them all right now, but you can check out the details on those in the links below if you'd like to consider supporting us financially. We just had our first giveaway, ended yesterday. giveaway, and it's for an officially licensed Orlando Magic t-shirt where the winner gets to pick the color, the size, and all that stuff. We ran a race digitally before the show started, and Kron, one of our Patreon subscribers, won the giveaway, which is really cool. So Kron, I'm going to get with you after this show and get your email, your shipping address, and get your size and color preference and all that stuff. And we'll get you that shirt as soon as possible. But guys, consider joining the Patreon program because this is just the first. We're going to be doing some game tickets in the near future, potentially jersey giveaways and just other types of things. So Patreon allows us to do that stuff, and the more people that support, the cooler shit we can do. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for all that participated so far, and congratulations to Kron. CJ, let's get into it, man.
Let's get it.
Basketball is here, and
yes, it is.
The Magic are on a 9 game losing streak right now. I can't remember. I think it's nine games. 8 games. 8 game losing streak. Sorry, it's been so many. I just can't remember anymore. They lost to the Bucks last night, but we're going to get to that a little bit later. Yes. The cool news that came out today is we got an update on Jonathan Isaac, which is funny because just like 3 or 4 days ago, I quote tweeted Kobe Price's article, not to like put pressure on him by any means, but just thinking like, hey, it's been about a month. He was ramping up doing contact 5 and 5. What's going on? And we got news today that he is being assigned to the Lakeland Magic G League squad and going to be practicing with them. And he had his first practice today. So CJ, when you first heard that news, what did you think, man?
Initially I was like, it's like you hear it and it's like, oh, he's actually like playing 5-on-5 against basketball players. And it's not, I guess, too controlled, more natural. We can run up and down the court, take bumps and bruises and stuff like that. So to me, I was like, let's go. You know what I mean? I sent him a tweet, congratulating him and stuff like that. So for me, I think this is huge for us because we need defense, rim protection, perimeter defense. So just to hear that he's kind of close to getting back into things with us, with the big club, I mean, I dig it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive, man. He went down there today for his first practice. He did. He played a full quarter of full contact. Overall, it sounded like a pretty positive experience. He said the biggest letdown was getting a little bit winded towards the end of that first quarter, and not making every single shot because he wanted to make every bucket. But I mean, it sounded like he felt good. It sounded like he's psyched for the increase in ramp up. He's going to be back down there Thursday, which is really exciting. I don't know, man. Like, I have so much mixed emotions on JI. There's part of me that's like, dude, it's going to be so nice to have you back. I'm excited to see where he's at. Even if he's like 70, 80% of what he was before physically, like that's still a really good player and can be a positive impact for this player in some capacity or for this team in some capacity. Then there's like, dude, you haven't played for 2.5 years. How much have you actually lost? You've had some off-court drama, which I think a lot of us have been able to, like, I don't know, maybe just not agree with, but not let it be, not let it be a thing. And it's like, his contract is up in like 2 years, so it's just like, oh man, like what are we doing here? I don't know, man. Like overall, like let's say Jonathan comes back looking pretty solid, right? In like a month or so, and he's looking healthy. What do you think his impact is on the team?
Defense off the bench. Obviously, we got Paulo, so unless he can, I wouldn't even say put him at the 5 because he's so injury prone. You kind of scared to throw him in there and let him bang around a lot. But just a defensive specialist off the bench, I'd be happy with that. 6'10", 6'11", well, I guess a 7-footer that you could just bring off the bench and just throw him on the best guy, slow somebody down for a couple minutes a game. I mean, that'd be huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's defensively, this team is struggling a lot. And, which is funny because Coach Mosley is a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, exactly. So I know he's going crazy at night.
He's got to be just itching to get some more healthy defenders on the floor. Suggs is out, positive defender. Wendell Carter Jr. is out, positive defender. Mo Bamba is out when he's locked on, positive defender. But he's inconsistent, right now. But when he's playing well, he's positive. Compared to other people that are playing well and still are negatives or neutrals at best. Like Terrence Ross.
Harris.
Yeah, Gary Harris is out, positive defensive player. Jonathan Isaac's out, been out. He's never had a chance to even get him on the court in the year and a half that he's been coaching with us. And so it's just, he's got to be itching at the bench. And, offensively, he's not a wash. He's a decent cutter. He was starting to get better at shooting from three on the outside. Was starting to work on his pull-up game on the mid. So it's not like he was a horrible offense player. He's not Paulo by any means, but, I say offensively, he had I don't know, man. Maybe he's got a better offensive package than Chuma, even though Chuma's the better shooter.
Option.
Yeah,
low usage 4/5 option. But I think that's perfect with how we're molded now. We have Franz high usage, we have Markelle high usage, playmaker, and then we have Paulo high usage. So if we can get some guys that are defensive minded but low offensive usage players, I mean that's perfect for the way we're constructed right now.
Yeah, I think so too, man. And right now you're right. He's a player that's not going to need the ball in his hands a lot. He's not he's not playmaking for others. He's like when the ball gets to his hands, is he either shooting it or passing it or running for a cut, right? So he's not like this crazy ball handler that's going to be a playmaker for others in an on-ball presence. So that'll be really nice. Yo, we're back. Sorry about that. For those of you that are still with us, we had a little bit of audio technical difficulties we had to get through, but I think we're all good now. We just wrapped up Jonathan Isaac. Pretty excited to get him back on the court. My guess is he'll be down in Lakeland doing practices with them for a couple of weeks. Hopefully we see Jonathan, I don't know, man, early in February. That'd be pretty dope, I think.
I think he'll probably be back mid-January.
You think? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Holidays.
Did I say February?
Yeah, you said February.
I meant January. I'm with you. I did not mean February.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, man. Dude, so, speaking of big men, we recently, about 7 games ago, we got Moritz Wagner back, and he's a player I have love-hate relationship with. When he's bad, he is absolutely awful. But he's
one extreme to the next.
But he's been pretty good recently, which has been nice. Yeah. And just to put some numbers behind it, he's shooting 47% from the field. He's having a horrible 3-point shooting year so far. He's shooting 13%. I think that's been a little bit better the last couple of games. No, it hasn't. He's made 1 3-point attempt in his in the last 4 or 5 games. So I take a step back that question or that statement. He's shooting 82% from free throw line, and he's getting there. I don't know how many times he's getting there, but he's getting there a decent amount. I can tell you actually, he's averaging 3 attempts per game, and he's playing 24 minutes a game right now, which is not bad. I mean, when he came back, we've been down Wendell Carter Jr., down Mo Bamba, so he came back and really absorbed a lot of minutes. CJ, what's your thoughts on Mo Wagner since he's been back? Where and how has he impacted this team?
I think he's impacted energy level. He's the garbage guy, or the glue guy off the bench. Just come in, hustle, rebound, set picks. I really like the fact that he's setting solid picks.
Yeah, he's one of the better screen setters we have on the team. After Wendell Carter Jr., he might be the second best screen setter we have as far as the bigs go.
Yeah, for sure. He gets in there, gets dirty, does all the dirty work. Works really well with Kel for some reason on the pick and roll, so that's nice to see. But yeah, man, he just gets in there, gets dirty, does all the dirty work. Every team needs a guy like him, at least 1 or 2 of them.
You know, it's great too. Like we complain about Bulbul not being able to be like physical with some of the other bigs, and when Bulbul's playing the 5 by himself, and then you know next to Paulo, who is not the greatest. Like he's a rookie. He's gonna figure out his defense stuff too. But you throw in Moritz Wagner in there, and you got a guy with size that is a little, you know, he's got a good defensive IQ in my opinion, and so he can get in there and you know, bring some size and toughness to the team in that defensive level when he's playing next to Bulls specifically, which has been really nice. I've liked how they've kind of paired them up often when they're playing, which has been really nice. And you know, it's interesting. In some ways, Moritz is actually stealing some minutes from Bull. Like last game, he played 31 minutes and helped close the game compared to Bulbul, who played 19 minutes. And so you can tell he's come back and made an impact. Coaching has noticed it, and the players have noticed it because he's getting more run at different times, and you know, he helped close the game against the Bucks, which is but yeah, man, Moritz Wagner, he's pretty good. He's doing pretty well. I'm excited to have him. I'm looking forward to getting him back next to some other players. But before we get into that, all right, let's pay some bills. We're gonna get in some ad reads and rock with our sponsors, because without our sponsors and without the support from our listeners, we couldn't do what we're doing now. The support for the Close Up Magic is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for the family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 70 million men worldwide who trusted Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code CLOSEUP at manscaped.com. Now, CJ, you're a gentleman. You're a man. You're a scholar. You cleaned out. You trim down there. You trim your stuff. You do. Okay. So my follow-up question is, are you happy with the current product that you have? Because if not, I got something to sell you.
I'm definitely going to upgrade.
You need to upgrade. Okay, cool.
Yes, for sure.
So I recently was given the Manscaped Performance 4.0 bundle. And man, it's a game changer. It's like this whole bundle. So first I'm going to tell you what this bundle, the Performance Package 4.0, comes with. Okay, it comes with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which the lawnmower is what you used to get down and dirty with and like do all the stuff. But that's not all. You get the Weed Whacker. Man, you and I, we're in our 30s now. You get your hair, you get nose hair. You got to trim that stuff on a regular. As you get a little bit older. I know some of you kids listening might not understand yet, but as you get older, you will. You got to keep that clean. So the Weed Whacker is really nice. I use that. It's great. Then it also comes with Crop Preserver ball deodorant. That's a new and exciting experience. It also comes with Crop Reviver toner, new and exciting experience, and boxers and a sweet little travel bag. So the 4.0 performance package is pretty sweet. Is that interesting to you?
For sure. Especially being in Florida this time of year, gets a little warm, especially in the summertime.
Would you say you kind of have to mow the lawn sometimes?
Yeah, you're going to have to mow it in the winter. Yeah.
Well, because you know what? First off, the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, it's the future of grooming, dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever. It's the 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is also waterproof, so if you like to do this act in the shower and have less cleanup afterwards, it is waterproof, and it's got a sweet little 4,000 LED light to just really give you all that light. And, dude, it's a game changer, CJ. You need to get on this, bro. You need to.
I'm sold.
You're sold. Okay. So CJ sold. You all should be sold. So we're just going to say get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLOSEUP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code CLOSEUP. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Yeah, man. So that's that. Let's get into this second half. CJ, thoughts on the Bucks game? How you feel?
I mean, I feel like they're slowly getting back up to speed with having actual guards now. Like, there was points in the game where Paulo was posting up. I believe it was toward the end of the game where Paulo was posting up and Kel got him the ball right where only a point guard could get him the ball in that, and then there was another part toward the end of the game where Franz had the ball and Paulo was in the post, but you could see that Franz wanted to get him the ball, but it was like, I can't really get it to you. And then he had it, he drove, and I think he scored on that when he drove to the bucket that time. But you can see how the guards are actually making the game easier for Paulo and Franz. And, yeah, man, I think a couple more games, everybody should, even back out as far as chemistry-wise. So I think it's good, that they're sharing the ball more. I want Paulo to be a little bit more aggressive. You can see Paulo's kind of like, you know what I mean, when Kel has the ball. So hopefully they can work out the chemistry issues as we continue to move forward.
Yeah, there's definitely some things that need to work out with Paulo and Franz and Fultz, but I mean, Fultz has never played with any of these guys. This is his first time really playing with them, and they're playing with him. The only players on the team that Fultz played with outside of like last year, those few games. Well, I mean, I guess he played a good 16 games, so this stat's really irrelevant. Jonathan Isaac's only played with Fultz and Terrence Ross, by the way. Small little slide back there. So,
you never played with Mo?
Yeah, he did play with Mo Bamba. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, they were on the team together. And so, but man, Fultz, man, like, yeah, you got 3 high usage guys, right?
Yeah.
Franz is good off ball, but he was so much on ball before Fultz got back. Paulo is a very on ball player. And then Fultz is a pretty on ball player too. And so there's just some chemistry stuff that's got to get worked out, but it was just nice to see this team a little bit more, in the game. Like, we were down the whole time for the most part. I think we were up a little bit for the first time out in the halftime, but at the end of the second, beginning of the third, the Bucks up by 10, 15 points. But we kept it like within 12 most of the game. At some point even like reduced it down to like 8, 7 points. And then I don't remember the final score. It wasn't amazing, but like, it wasn't like, I never felt like we were completely lost. Like a couple good stops and a little run.
Like 2
what?
minutes. Sorry?
No,
I was saying, I think we got it down to like 4 or 5 with maybe like 2 or 3 minutes left. So we got pretty close.
Yeah, it's like you always felt like we had a chance if there was just a couple of stops in there that could have happened. Markelle Fultz, man, we've seen him now for a couple of games. He, had a little bit of a minutes restriction, but then, played a back-to-back, and now doesn't seem like he's got any minutes restriction. What have your overall thoughts with Markelle been since he's been back?
I feel like he hasn't missed a beat, to be honest. I feel like, he's pushing the pace. Guys are understanding now that once he gets the ball, he's gone. Like, there's no walking the ball up at certain points of the game. Like, everything with Kel is just push, push, push. So his shot looks somewhat better, still iffy looking, but, I mean, it's definitely better than what it was. So that's a positive. I think once he gets to a point where he's comfortable with playing with the new guys, like I said, just the chemistry thing, I think we will continue to make huge strides.
Yeah, I like Fultz. He's fun. There's definitely, he's a high usage player. And so again, I'm interested to see how things continue to evolve between the 3 dudes. But I'm not going to sit there and pretend I say his shot looks improved. It looks sort of the same, and I don't really care. As long as it's going in, that's what matters to me. And, right now he's shooting 45% from the field. He had a good 3-point shooting game last night, and which brought up his field goal shooting in super small sample size. I think he's only attempted like 4 or 5 3-pointers, 6 3-pointers since his return. So he's shooting 33% right now and super small sample size. But, he made a few, which is nice. Made one from the corner, Maybe they were both from the corner, but
Yeah.
that was nice. What's really cool is he's shooting 83% from the free throw line, compared to a career 71%. So really excited about that. Things just get more organized. He really does kind of get wherever he wants. But like we've been saying, there's still some chemistry stuff that needs to happen. One thing I've been impressed with Fultz, though, is his defense looks a lot more tight. Like he's played some point of attack defense recently, which, with Suggs being out, he's kind of had to, and that was always an area that I thought he struggled on a little bit. Like thought he was more of like a better team help defender, could handle some point of attack, but like wasn't his strong suit. And he looked fairly decent in that. He was giving some troubles to the Bucks on that end the other night. With giving Drew Holiday some issues and stuff, and just being a pest on that side. And so I was really improved with that defensively.
Yeah, just with him being able to get over the screen, that's been helping our paint defense out tremendously. Because before he came back, the big would blitz on the screen, on the pick and roll, and then it just creates chaos, and everybody's scrambling to find their rotations or whatever. But just that one little thing he's been doing on defense has really helped us out tremendously.
Yeah, it's been really good. And I'm enjoying it. I'm going to continue to enjoy the process of him and the team, like getting up to speed, which is cool. It's just nice to get some of these guys back. I think Mo Bamba is off the injury report, so we should see him back in action, hopefully on Wednesday's game. If for some reason that doesn't happen, I would expect him to be back by the end of the week, by Friday at least. Yeah. But it sounds like he's made good progress and went through all of practice today on Tuesday, which is really good. We know Gary Harris, Chuma, who else is out that we're missing? I know Jalen Suggs. Yeah, those guys did not practice today. So I know, which doesn't mean they didn't do anything. I imagine they did rehab, but they didn't go through the traditional practice. So they're still probably a little ways away. But if we can get Bamba back, that'd be great because, recently Bulbul's been struggling, on both. Not as bad offensively, but defensively, I mean, he's getting figured out. Teams are targeting him. And we're starting to see his role change a little bit too because of that. The other night he played 2 games ago, I think, versus the Hawks. He played 23 minutes. Last night versus the Bucks, he only played 19 minutes. So, the negative on the second end is what I think is what is contributing to the reduction in minutes. And I think that's okay. I know some fans are going to there's some hardcore Bulbul fans out there. And I don't want you guys to think I'm hating on them because it's not a secret that I'm not the most positive guy on Bulbul, but I have been pretty positive on his offensive impact, but I do think ultimately he's better off the bench for this team because of his defensive issues. I don't think the defensive issues are going to ever be something that drastically become positive. There's just certain things he's with his size and his speed that he's not going to be able to do. And guys are not afraid to go at him. If he's not blocking the shot, the ball's going in a decent amount. So it's interesting. I still have high hopes for Bull. I like him for this team. He's definitely proved me wrong a little bit, but I still not sold he's going to be a starter long term for this team. And we're starting to see that now with his role shifting the last couple of games. Thoughts on Bull, man?
I think once everybody gets healthy, I think for him right now, because I feel like this is his rookie year. I mean, I know he's been in the league a couple years, but as far as actually getting a chance to play every day or every game, it's essentially his rookie year. And I feel like if you can reduce his minutes down to 20, 23, 24 minutes a game and just let him just play the right way, he'll be better off. I mean, he's missing rotations and, like you said, guys are attacking him. So I feel like, this season, next season, if you can just give him small minutes, not small minutes, but, bench minutes, consistent bench minutes, and just let him just grow. I think sometimes guys get too many minutes too soon, and they start developing bad habits, and it's just something you can't correct. Like, he'll get the ball now and he just take off, as opposed to getting the ball, do your thing a little bit. If it's not right, slow down, get it to a point guard or get it to somebody else, and let's start the offense. So it's just, like little stuff like that. I feel like as he gets a better role, he'll clean stuff up like that.
Yeah, and I agree, man. Like, he still does need to learn to work on his decision making. Like, there was this play, I forget who was defending him, but he had like a nice defensive play where he, like, I think he either blocked or stole the ball, got it in transition, and then once he got to the 3-point line on the other side, he went Kobe on his defender and like tried to do all these dribble moves, which were kind of cool, but it just led to a turnover when he had opportunities to pass the ball to someone else and still have a transition play instead of trying to like be Kobe and go around him and cause this turnover. And he's gotten pretty turnover heavy recently, which has not been fun. But with this team getting healthier, I think let's do a little bit of a thought experiment before we wrap up this episode. Let's just like look at what some of like rotation possibilities, because like J.I. is potentially coming back soon. Mo Bamba is coming back soon. Hopefully we get guys like Suggs and Harris back. If this team is healthy, what is your starting five and what is your bench?
Ooh, starting five.
In a 10-man rotation. We'll be generous and go 10-man. Even though I personally prefer a 9-man.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You don't have to give me like subbing patterns if you don't want to, but like
more traditional. Starting five, I'm going Kel, Franz, Paolo at the 3, J.I. at the 4, Wendell at the 5. I think that'll give you a traditional point guard on the floor. J.I. will definitely help Wendell with his rim protection issues. And then you just have Paolo, just let Paolo be Paolo. So
you're a fan of Franz at the 2?
Yeah, I think he can handle the 2.
Okay. This is where we differ a little bit. So I'll let you pause for a second. I'll give you my starting 5. I'm going to go opposite direction. I'll start with the back court or the front court. Wendell Carter, I want Paolo and Franz at the 4 and 3. And then probably Gary Harris at the 2 next to Fultz, because Gary Harris is a better shooter than Suggs. Suggs needs a little bit more usage, and his catch and shoot isn't quite there yet. Ultimately, I think by the end of the season, I'd love for Suggs' catch and shoot to improve to a point where he could take over Harris' spot at the 2, and then sitting right next to him, Fultz. The reason why I want to shift Franz from 2 to 3 is because I want another person that can chase these guards around a little bit faster and quicker. Franz is fine, but we're starting to see some of his weaknesses guarding point guards and shooting guards that are a little bit quicker. And so I'd like to get another positive guard defender in that starting lineup. Yeah. Now, with your secondary unit, what are you looking for? You got another 5 to choose from.
Got another 5. So I'm going to go Jalen at point. Give me Gary. Give me Caleb. Give me Bulbul. And no, I'm sorry. Give me
You're missing Cole Anthony too.
Yeah, I got my thing with Cole.
I hear you.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go Bowl and then give me Mo Wagner.
Mo Wagner over Mo Bamba. Okay.
Yeah, I like the heart and hustle. I like the
I hear that. He plays with energy. You don't have to question that. I hear that.
Yeah.
I would go with that's fun. I like the addition of Caleb Houston in there. When he's shooting and hitting, it's fun. His shot looks so good. He moves pretty well off ball. He's a rookie. He needs time.
And he's always where he's supposed to be. There's no doubt that he's missing his assignment or missing the rotation. Like he's a very smart basketball player. I'm
going for my second unit. I'm going and see I want to win a little bit. So I'm going So I'm going Suggs. I'm going Cole Anthony, those two at the 1 and 2, whatever, however you want to play it. I don't care who's running point. Like, they can figure that out. Give me Terrence Ross at the 3. Defensively, Ross and Cole could be a problem, but you got Suggs in there. And then
we'll figure it out.
The 4 is where things get a little bit tricky. Ideally, like, we're staggering someone from the first unit, like with the second unit, but like the 4, like Chuma, he's pretty solid defender there. And then 5, I want what we saw when Bamba was getting 22 minutes a game consistently. That Bamba, he was a positive NBA player, a good defender, contributing positively offensively, a good shooter, floor spacer. Those 20 minutes, when his role stopped being inconsistent from getting 15 minutes to 6 minutes, and when he was just straight up getting 20 minutes a game, he was turning the corner. And then he was doing all right in the 30 minutes a game. I think there were some chemistry issues and some communication issues on the court that were causing some of the biggest the issues with him. And then ultimately, I think like his body just failed with those minutes simply because they probably weren't used to it from the inconsistent playing time. And these guys don't practice like they do over the summer and in training camp. Like, not every player is built to have inconsistent roles and be able to then all of a sudden go from, 18 minutes a game to 32 plus minutes a game. So that's probably why he got back spasms, in my opinion. But I'm still a Mo Bamba believer. People hate me on it, but I'm still a Mo Bamba believer, and I'd like to give him a shot at like a consistent 20 minutes a game. Now, granted, someone's going to listen to this and be like, your 10-man rotation is garbage because there's not enough minutes for Mo Bamba to get 20 minutes a game there. I'm like, let me stop minute counting. This is what I'm trying, okay? Maybe Terrence Ross gets squeezed for 5 minutes or something like that. And realistically, if we're cutting this down to a 9-man rotation, I'm probably cutting Terrence Ross out of it, and going, Cole, Suggs, Chuma, Bamba, interchanging like Paulo or Franz with that second unit a little bit more. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at.
Right. And if you squeeze mine, I would squeeze Bull.
Squeeze Bull over Caleb Houston?
Yeah, I just like Caleb shooting. I think he
That's
would.
Nice.
I think he, his perimeter defense and his shooting. He's like I said, he's one of those players that you can count on him to be where he needs to be.
That's fair.
I think for where we are in, development wise, like we need guys to know your assignments, no questions asked.
Yeah.
And that 3 is coming along good. He's getting to the point now where it's not catch and shoot, it's kind of catch, do a little something, and then shoot it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can see he's gaining confidence as the year goes on. Hopefully next year he can, put it on the floor and get to the bucket, layup.
Totally. It'd be nice for him to get some run in some Lakeland time this season too. That'd be really good for him as well. Maybe see some midseason improvements off of something like that. And just play games too, not just practices. That'd be good for him. The one tweak I could make to the lineup is like, okay, let's say, Bulbul is someone that needs to play or I want to play because like I see that I'm like, oh, I didn't even have Bulbul in there. You could take out. I don't want to play Bull and Bamba together. I just don't like that pairing. Yeah. But I would do Bull and Moritz Wagner together, which could work too. So
and with those guys, we could just do situational. I mean, a lot of teams that have a lot of depth. Like when we had the Dwight Howard finals teams, we had so much depth. We had like Petrus and Matt Barnes and stuff like that. So we just mix and match. Like, okay, we're gonna throw a ball out there because we need his length. Next game it might be Caleb and Chuma because we need perimeter defense with the second unit. So guys just got to be okay with doing this as a team and as a unit instead of worried about if they're going to get consistent minutes individually.
Yeah, for sure. And ultimately with this team being healthy, there's going to be players that should get playing time that are not getting playing time. I didn't even consider RJ Hampton because we know he's not going to be a part of this team's future. As much as I don't like the way they've handled his situation, I'm just like, you're not going to be a part of our team. I hate it, but I'm also not going to give you playing time either because the front office already made the decision. I need to see what other people can do. So yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to actually have see what coach does when this team is healthy. That's going to be really nice. We're still, a few weeks away from that, maybe even a month or so, but this team is getting healthier. We're going to see Mo Bamba back soon, which is great. So, all right. I feel like this is a good place to wrap up. I'm not feeling 100%. It's late for you. We gotta edit this podcast, get this up and live for you all. It'll be coming out. I mean, when you hear it on Wednesday. So we appreciate you all. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. CJ, thank you, sir. Good luck at the Magic game this week that you were covering. Psyched to get that content out there for our listeners and for our stories and content. So we appreciate that. And let's go Magic. Peace.